Hello everybody, Sanibonani, welcome to my channel. Please, those who are here, please just let me know if you can hear me. Continue and have some fun today. I just need to confirm that video is okay and then we can continue. Please make sure that on my description below so that you can subscribe to all of my channels. Otherwise, you'll be missing out on some really great content on my other channels. Also, make sure that on the chat section, you fill out the poll so I can know what you think about tonight's episode. It was episode 3. We did talk about it in the long review. So if you want to join, if you want to note all of the details that happened, I will repost that review, which is a full review, so that you can hear what happened sin to sin. But today we've got some things that we're going to discuss as far as tonight's episode is concerned that we didn't discuss in detail. But while we do that, just tell me what you thought about it. And the way to do that is to go to the poll in the chat section and complete there. So I will see how many people were happy with this episode and how many people were not happy with this episode. But other than that, guys, my name is Uthando Nesthembu, and on this channel siyayisibuke ama-reality TV shows ethu ala eMzansi bese sizala sokhuluma ngawo lama shows, senza ama-reviews or ama-recaps, siphinde futhi sikhulume nga-any other issues avukayo uma ngabe lama shows sesiwabukile kwi-TV. Namhlanje we are talking about any other issues avukayo, because maningi ama-issues avukayo. One of those issues is one thing that people have been talking about in the comment section, which is that Mayeni is acting like a victim in this relationship. And it made me think a little bit, you guys, because everybody has been talking about how Mayeni uhlukumezeka kangakanani kulo mshado lona. So today we're going to talk about it and see, is she really a victim that she's playing to be uLokuzana Mayeni? Because honestly, you guys, when it comes to our relationships, if your relationship doesn't work out and if your relationship you do have an option to walk out, so we have to ask that question ukuthi yini le eyenza uMayeni angenzi what a lot of women, I guess it's burning for a lot of people. It's not burning for me, honestly, but I know that for a lot of people, they like discussing it, issue Mangwabe, whether Mangwabe is going to eventually leave or not, whether Selegu wants Mangwabe to leave. That's why Selegu is acting the way that he is acting like he doesn't care if people leave, because he is trying to get rid of Mangwabe. I say that that issue is not burning for me because honestly, I do not think that Mangwabe is going anywhere. I know a lot of the people are like, "I Loda unesicefe unjani complain. She doesn't have a right to complain." And I hear those points, you guys. But I really honestly don't think Umselegu wants any of his wives to leave. And I don't think that he's gonna do anything that is gonna make any of his wives to leave. So for me, I don't think that Mangwabe is leaving. But I want to hear what you guys think. Other people are saying, "Hey, Agahambe already must be." She must leave already. So those are the issues that we're going to talk about today, you guys, when it comes to Uthando Nesthembu. There is also an article that came out Izolo, but I only talked about it today. When it comes to Uthando Nesthembu, I'm still was talking about their sexual life and talking about how his wives. I don't know, guys. The way that I understood that article, I don't know about other people that read it. It sounded to me like he is saying that the wives need to all be tested before they get into the final decision on whether somebody is coming in as a wife. So that made me feel like it's almost like he's saying the wives are the ones that run a risk of bringing something into a relationship. But I was feeling like, but he should be the one that should be getting tested all the time. That's how I understood the article. I might have misunderstood it, but when I read it, it was like he sounds like he's saying his wives must be the ones that should be getting tested, you guys. Anyway, welcome everybody that is joining us today, guys. We do have only like 30 to 45 minutes of being here. We might be shorter than that because we do have load shedding at 9 no at 10 o'clock. It says my connection is unstable, so I'm hoping that you guys can see me. Please indicate in the comment section if you can see and hear me well. Thank you so much, Breezy Coates, for joining me. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to Breezy Coates, please go to his channel and subscribe. He's a very young person coming with some really interesting topics on his channel. I'm very much impressed by his channel. I think he's somebody that we need to support because he is coming with the younger generation energy here on YouTube. So please, if you are watching and you haven't subscribed to Breezy Coates, please just rush and subscribe and then come back here. Okay, we're not going anyway, you guys. But I am interested to know what you guys think about. First, let's talk about indaba kaMayeni. Of course, uMayeni, I think a lot of the people feel sorry for uMayeni because uMayeni, our understanding is that uMayeni was the first. I think we can say ukuthi Mselegu was Mayeni's first love, maybe, but I don't think that we can say that Mayeni is Selegu's first love because Umselegu, as we're watching more of the show, we are realizing that Umselegu likes abantu besifazane. So I'm starting to feel a time Umselegu no that has always liked women and has never really just liked one woman. He has always liked a lot of women. So but compared to the other wives, we know that they were together before all the others, before Macele, before Makhumalo, before Mangwabe, even before Umasaula, according to our understanding. And people always ask, where does Umasaula fall in the line of the wives? And my understanding is that Umasaula was the second wife. She came after Umacele. And the reason we don't talk a lot about Umasaula, obviously, is because Umasaula is not around anymore. She passed. So in the drama, with drama. But it is important that we remember that yes, Umselegu met Umayeni, according to information as now, met Umayeni before Macele. But then when he met Umacele, obviously he decided to marry Umacele because Umayeni, but she wasn't ready to get married to his temple. Her family didn't want her to get married to his temple. But between Umacele and Umayeni, there was also Umasawul. So it's like Umayeni washawa yistina Umacele, waphinde washawa ngestina Umasawul. You know, I'm not laughing because I'm thinking it's funny, because I'm just thinking how ridiculous it is. Waphinde washawa yistina Umasawul. Mind you, Uguti, it sounds like Umselegu has always had other women. So besides Umacele and Umasawula, there must have been other women as well. Okay, guys. So like if you're dating a guy, let's just put it like in terms zamanje nanjiji. If you're dating a guy, you have a boyfriend, your boyfriend goes and marries someone else, okay? Okay, mhlambe ungabekezela for the first time and be like, okay, he married that person because I was still trying to make a decision on whether I'm going to marry him or not. While you are waiting for that, while you are healing from that, he goes and marries the second person. So, like he Umayeni still married even after Umas, you guys, she couldn't break up with him. I do not know, you guys, but I just feel like at the same time, for her to still marry Umselegu, that was a choice for her. She wasn't forced to do that. It was a choice for her. So now and then there is uMakhomalo and there is uMangwabe. Should we really be surprised ukuthi those, should she have been surprised ukuthi those two also came after her, uLokhuzana, uMayeni? If while she was there, this guy married two other people while she was there, making a decision on whether she's going to marry this person or not. He married Umacele, he married Umasawul, and then married her. Was she really surprised? Because after her there was Makhumalo and there was also Ulokhuzana Mangwabe. And now being in this relationship, it feels like uhlukumezekile because naye uyasho ukuthi umseleko umhlukumeze kakhulu because she got into the relationship esasayingane. Okay, and I understand my decisions were hard to make. Usasayingane, usamncane, fine. But now usumdala, you are still making a decision to stay in the relationship. So are you really a victim kule relationship? Are we supposed to look at Mayeni as a victim being kule relationship akuyona, or she's making a choice, really, you guys? And it's like wonke umuntu udabukela Mayeni has been through so much, even when Mangwabe came, this and this and this happened. Are we forgetting what a woman does have a right to walk away from the relationship if it doesn't work out for them? So why is she sitting there being a victim? Honestly, when the viewer started talking about that, it made me think, honestly, why simdabukela Mayeni? Because she is an adult, you guys, and if a relationship has abused her so much, yes, it's not physically abusive, but now we are relationship because of the things that have happened in the relationship and the fact that she's never really been the only one. So now, are we supposed to feel sorry for her because her staying in the relationship tells me, Uguti, naye, there are things that she gets from being in that relationship, and part of that, maybe it is financial security. We don't know. Maybe mhlambe kumnandi kamseleko, and thina silana siyamdabukela ukuthi oh shame, she's been through so much. Anyway, you guys, kumnandi kamseleko, and thina silana siyamdabukela ukuthi oh shame, she's been through so much. Anyway, you guys, I want to welcome some people in my comment section. Thank you so much, V, for joining me, and Confis Kitchen. Thank you so much for joining me. Please, you guys, take a poll and tell me what you thought about tonight's episode. Did you think that it was exciting? Was it good? Was it not really? Was it really, really good? Did you enjoy it, you guys? And then, you guys, there is an issue, like I say, you guys, people are talking about it a lot in the comment section. Some people are just irritated by the mere presence. For them, it's like, why is she even still there, you guys? And I don't feel like Mangwabe is going to go anywhere. I feel like that's part of the reason Umseleko hasn't taken a number 7 is because he is so in love with Mangwabe, and he fears if he does take a number 7, why am I saying number 7? Number 5. It's because we've had in the number 5 for so long, you guys. I feel like we should be in number 7 already. And I feel like that's one of his, it's just my guess. I feel like he really loves Mangwabe. He doesn't want Mangwabe to leave. Had it not been for Mangwabe putting her foot down, he probably would have taken number 5 already. But he fears Mangwabe is the one that would actually walk off, because we know Mayeni, guys, is not going anywhere. Like I've said, she's been there. Mayeni has been there since through Umacele, through Masaule, through Makumalo, through Mangwabe. That woman is not going anywhere. We know for sure. She's there. She's comfortable. She might complain now and then, but if ngempela, she would walk out. So the fact that she's still there, it means that marriage is very nice for her. Bese siba nje frank kahle kahle. They are abused because if you really are abused, she is an independent woman or sevenza. She can be a financially independent woman if she wanted to, because she does have a job. She can just, but she doesn't. So for her, she has lived through the addition of 4 other women in their relationship, and she hasn't moved at all. So I don't think that Mayeni is going anywhere. There's no chance she's not leaving. So I do feel like with Mangwabe, it will be at a risk for Mseleko to actually take number 5 with Mangwabe, because Mangwabe has never survived the taking of any wife. She has never survived the taking of any wife. She doesn't have this. She hasn't had that experience. And I do understand people that say if you are taken as a wife and you are not wife number 1, then you must expect that another wife might be taken, and you must accept it just like the other wives did. And I understand the thinking behind that. But at the same time, as a woman, if you are not happy with something, whether other people think that you are justified in feeling the way that you feel, if you feel that way, and you should be able to express it and say, listen, yeah, ngiyazi ngangena kule but no. Angisafuni ukuthi kuphinde kungene abanye. So I do feel like mina, I like the way the fact that she can still say, at the end of the day, obviously Msoleko will decide whether he moves ahead and does whatever it is that he wants to do, which I don't think he will do, because I do feel like he fears taking that risk with Mangwabe, because Mangwabe might actually be the one woman who walks out, which would be the first thing for Umseli, unless there's other wives maybe that have been there, you guys, that we probably don't know that they have been there, because it looks like ama-secrets akamseleku kancane kancane ayaphuma, you guys. Here's another thing, you guys, that I wanted to talk about, because obviously the biggest surprise with this week's episode, for those who are watching Umzansi Magic 161 and those who watched 103, was a reaction Gamakumalo to the issue can number 5, you guys. It actually made me think, because one of the things that Umakumalo said was the offering of her house for number 5, you guys. And we've always known, Umseleko has always said, Ugusi, he has girlfriends outside of his marriage. Okay. So I wondered recently, Uguti, I wonder if it's not a possibility at all, Uguti Umakumalo has met some of Umseleko's girlfriends. And maybe she even has a knowledge as to who the girlfriend is that is coming, and might be pretending to the other wives that she does not know. Because one of the things that I noticed is that when Umakumalo was talking about Umbali Mangwabe coming to her house, it looked to me as if Umseleko did not expect her to mention that. And it looked to me like she would have preferred for her not to, even though he did not say, he did not, it looked like he did not want it mentioned. So it made me wonder, is it a possibility ukuthi Umacele has actually, not Umacele, Umakhumalo has actually met some of Musa Mselegu's girlfriends, if ukuthi she is so free in spending time around Umselegu while Umselegu is with other women? Is it even a possibility that some of these women have been to her house, if vele her house, Umselegu knows ukuthi her men have been to her house, if vele her house, Umselegu knows ukuthi her house is on offer? So is it not, I was even thinking maybe the other wives will be thinking Umselegu is spending time over there by Makumalo's house with Umakumalo, and there is girlfriends as well there, because it looks like indlu yakhe laphayana ibuye ibe lodge for the girlfriends, because guys, when have we ever seen that? But it's just a thought that crossed my mind, you guys, ukuthi mhlambe it's possible ukuthi uMakhumalo has met some of the girlfriends. Maybe she even knows ukuthi yiphi girlfriend ezayo kahle kahle, because amukho umuntu right now, no one is talking about the Makhumalo thing anymore. We used to think ukuthi the girlfriend, the number 5 was going to be another Makhumalo. Nobody is talking about that anymore. It looks like it's just going to be some girlfriend that is going to come in and have some wife benefits, because Mselego is out here asking for some days here. So he's going to have an additional person that acts as a wife, but not a wife. Because if he takes the person as a wife, Mbali is gonna leave. And if he is, then Mbali is really gonna leave. That is just my opinion, you guys. Anyway, Confi says number 5, Ngumgani Wamakumal. I suspect Confi. Coffee. I think Umakumalo actually was like, you know what, Shia indaba yokuthatha number 5. Here is my friend. Here, take my friend. I suspect. The number 1, Umakumalo sanza kujahile ukuthi number 5 akafiki. Like Umakumalo is like, akafiki number 5 adlule, because there are chances that she's already met number 5. She's already comfortable with the number 5 that is coming, and she just wants the number 5 to come and be introduced to the other wives. The number 5 has already spent time at her house, so for her it's like, I guess adlule, the anxiety that she's talking about, saying she has such an anxiety about Uguza Kuka number 5. I feel like it's the anxiety of the other wives are probably going to find out that she knew the person, and so she's waiting to know, what are they going to find out, she knew this person or not. Of course, you guys, we are just guessing. But I really honestly did have that feeling, Yoguti, Khumalo might possibly already know who the girl that is going to be introduced is. She's already met them. I feel like she is that free with Umselegu that if she can offer Umselegu to Umbali, she can offer Umselegu to the other to the other girlfriends. So yeah, but and that's the thing because Mayeni is the one ongakwazi ukupretenda more than anybody kuleya family, and the fact that akazwani noMakhumalo mhlambe nabo baya-suspect ukuthi uMakhumalo uyazwana nama-girlfriends kaMseleku. I don't know, you guys. And remember phela naye uMakhumalo ungene kanjalo kaMseleku, naye she was friends with one of the wives. She will go to Masaule's house to spend time with Umseleku. And then Naled, hi Naled, thank you so much for joining us. Naled V says, I think Makhumalo did that giving up house when Mangwabe arrived. Yeah, she did. She did that giving up house when Mangwabe. She did. She gave up her. She said on the episode, Mbali used to come to her house to spend time with Mseleko, okay? And she also, what did she say? Oh, she also said that for the whole year she wasn't seeing Mseleko. I'm guessing that Mseleko wasn't sleeping at her house because I would think that it's impossible for Mseleko to not see her at all for the whole year. I would think that maybe he wasn't going to sleep at her house. So she gave up the whole year and gave up her house too, you guys. So that's why I'm saying that, because I know for sure Mangwabe wouldn't do that. Mangwabe wouldn't do that. Mangwabe wouldn't be that generous with Umseleko. I don't think Umangwabe would do that. So I'm saying that if Umselegu wanted to bring a woman to the family, he would probably do it. If he was doing it secretly, he would probably do it through Makhumalo, because Umakhumalo is the one that is likely to say yes, especially after the reveal, this last episode. And then Cook some more with V says, yo, if that's the case, she's brave, too brave. She is too brave, too brave. I wouldn't be able, like Umacele was saying that she wouldn't be able to sleep in this house while her man is next door with another woman. Imagine the person being in the next room, because I mean, this is your house, so you're probably going to be in your room. They will be in the guest room with your husband. It's a good thing that Azikingane, I wonder Tumpilo, was she there at the time? That is strange. That is strange. Now that V says, when Mangwabe got married into the family. Yes, but also Naledi, my understanding is that even when Umbali was still a girlfriend, because remember Makhumalo got married first, and then Bali was dating Umselegu. They say they were friends. They became friends. It's not like they were friends prior to them dating Umselegu. They said they became friends when Umbali was dating Umselegu. So while just my understanding is that even before she got married, she was spending time with Makhumalo. And then she got married. And then now I don't know if when Umbali got married, she already had her own house, or when she got married and lived Kamakhumalo logo angiko clear ngako. But I just know that when they were courting, let's say that when they were courting Umseleko Nombali, they were spending time Kamakhumalo. Okay. I think Makhumalo is as free as Masaul. She has Masaul spirit. Well, don't you guys think that the show would be so interesting if Masaul was still around? Because she sounds like a character. And the way that Umacele looks like she really didn't like Umasaul. Imagine, guys, how interesting it would be to have Umacele, Umasaul, Umayeni, Umakhumalo. Manga. I really wish Masaula was around, you guys, because I think it would be interesting. Because I think that it would have even maybe caused some divisions in the family, because it sounds like Umakhumalo was really loved by Umasaola. So if their relationship didn't change, then it would be like a team, Umasaola and Makhumalo. So, hey, I wonder, you guys. And remember when Ulokuzana, when they wanted to go to the grave Kamasaula, and Umselek was presenting that idea, they must go and see the grave sites Kamasaula. Umacele was like, no, I'm not interested. I'm not going there. you know. And she did express at some point that she doesn't understand people that spend time with the girlfriends. She doesn't think that it should be that way. And then uMayeni and I said she never really got to meet Masawul, which is interesting, you guys. She never really got to meet Masawul. It's not like she hates her, but she doesn't think for her it wasn't that the story was not that touching to her because it wasn't, they were not close. She had never spent a lot of time with her. And then obviously Makhumalo was very emotional about it. It is interesting, guys, that Umayeni, who is number two, because Masaul is not okay. Let's say Umayeni number three. It is interesting that Umayeni, who is number three, says that she never really spent time with Masaul, so she wasn't close to her. So her passing was not really that deep for her. I don't know if she was just being shady, but then Uma Kumalo, who is the fourth wife, was so close to her. So basically, Uma Kumalo was spending time with Uma Saula when Umayeni was already there. Hey, ama-timelines ama-timelines are interesting, you guys. So Umayeni was not spending time with Masaul, but Uma Kumalo was spending time with Masaul. Hey, Masaul, we need Masaul back, guys. Hey, I think this show will be even more interesting. Maktu Masaula is there. But anyway, I think obviously the entry point Kamakhumalo to Isthembu was through Masaul. And I think maybe Umakhumalo learned how to handle into Isthembu from Umasaul. And Umasaul looks like a person that was just as free as Umakhumalo. You know, whatever Mselegu needs, Mselegu can get, I'm okay with it, spend time with your girlfriends, whatever, because Vele says we understand. You know, we understand what is engine. So it makes sense a little bit that she is like that as well, Umakumal. But then the next is Ulona Umbali, which is Umangwabe. I really do think Uguti part of Umakumalo is disappointed at Umangwabe because I think that she was instrumental in making sure that transition ka Mbali to the family is as smooth as possible. I think that the fact that Umakumalo gave up so much of her time for Umbali to adjust to the family and all of that, maybe it's because the other wives were not willing to give up their own time, so she gave up that time. I think that she was hoping that the relationship that she had with Masawula was going to be the same as the relationship that she was going to have with Umangwabe, but it didn't work out that way. I think Umango, when she came to the family, she's more looking out for herself. She's more looking out for her own needs in a marriage. And I do think that I would be disappointed too if I thought we were going to be best friends, married to the same man. And then when you actually come and you are adjusted and have done all of these sacrifices, and it just doesn't look that way. So partly I do understand that Makumalo might be disappointed with that relationship. So, Naled, you're saying when Mangabe, okay, you say, I think Makumalo is free as Masol. Okay, yes. The timelines are not timelining. They're not timelining. They're not timelining. That's why I said in this one video that there must have been a time when Umselig was dating all of these women at the same time, and none of them know who came first or came last. And then at some point, he had to make a decision on who to marry first. And Macele just happened to be available. And had Mayeni been available, it would have been her. Had Masaul been available, it would have been. The timelines are not timelining. Tops, hi Tops, thank you so much for joining us. Anna Lady V, thank you so much. Listen, let me pin this. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for donate. How do I pin your thing? Why does it not allow me to pin it? Because hey, this is very important. Thank you so much for your donation. I appreciate it so much, so much, so much, so much, so much. I don't know what's happening here. I don't know why it's not allowing me to pin it. But thank you so much, Naledi, for the mullah. Vele Umangwabe is all about herself, her kids, and Musa. Yes, I I would fail to be in a relationship where you think about other people. But then again, because I am that person, I wouldn't get to his temp. I did say, you guys, one of the things that I do not understand about uLokhuzwana, Mangwabe, is how, with her personality, how did she end up with Temp? It does not make sense to me that she ended up with Temp Mangwabe, because she sounds like the type of person that wants to look out for herself, wants to look out for her own needs. So it's a surprise to me, you guys, that she is kwisithembu angazi kanjani. I don't get it, honestly. I don't get it. I think she fell in love with Umselegu, but maybe didn't really think about the fact that, hey, there's gonna be four other people here, because Pela, we have to say four. It's her and the four and the others. And the others. This is going to be my channel, okay, Naledi V. Naledi V, this is everybody's channel, okay? This is everybody's channel. Guys, there's YouTubers here. If you are a YouTuber, in the comment section, just say Confis Kitchen is a YouTuber. Please subscribe. Cook Some More with V. Please subscribe to her channel. Breezy Court is a channel. Cook Some More. Okay, Cook Some More. I said, Tops, do you have a channel? What are you waiting for? If you don't want to, all for health with Jane is a channel. I'm home. Hey, Jane. Guys, subscribe to everybody, and also go into my description. I have two other channels. I have Raising with Siposetu, which is a channel where I share more about my parenting experience. I do have Siposetu, who is a child with special needs, so I share my experiences there. And then there's also Zulu books with Ntando Mdletshe. Guys, don't worry about the fact that you can't read Zulu. I read the books for you. So we just get there and be listening to the stories. It's very nice. It's chilled, no pressure on that channel. So go and subscribe. Even if you don't really like, subscribe and support my channel there, you guys. Anyway, you guys, I think overall, honestly, this season, the only thing that I don't like about this season is the fact that they're still dragging the number 5 storyline. But other than that, it really is enjoyable. To me, I'm really enjoying this season. Top say she fell in love, in my opinion, and realized late engasakwazi ukuphuma. Mseleko isoka ke futhi, so he sweet talked her, even promised not to take number 5 after her. That made her feel so much better. Yes, and-ke umseleko unesoka, ilabantu bathi kuthiwa umuntu unesoka uzokubamba ngobusoka nje bomzulu. And I totally get that. When I was watching, is it Sunday Sexy Love, I really got that from the two of them. They really are in love with each other. And I think it really would be such a beautiful love story had it just been the two of them. Had it just been the two of them, but it's not. So that's why it's like, for her, she really wants to be with this man, but she wants to be with him under her own conditions, and it doesn't work because this is Tembo. And yes, you guys, even though people have said that promise, Mseleko promising Umbali to not take wife number 5 when they got married, is null and void. They say that promise is null and void. If Tenjin, if you are not number 1, you cannot be promised that another one will not be taken. But yeah, asazi phela bapromisana bona, mhlambe benza abo pinky promise. I'm a pinky promise, guys. So, hey, guys, I don't know. I do get about my bets, it's null and void. But if I'm in a relationship and someone promises me something, hey, it better happen or else. But yeah, let me drink my water. Um, Top says, where I don't, but I'm not as brave, so I might do cooking voice over chat. Whatever, just come and do it. You must get advice from Madam V. Cook some more with V. Tops, if you want to start a cooking channel, she's got a really good cooking channel. She can give you some advice, so get it from her. Bongi Machi. Hi, Bongi. Manganese thought uzongena avala umnyango. Mangwabe, Mangwabe thought uzongena vala umnyango as promised manje umthombeni samjikela. Yes, she thought she was ulokhuzana unkosikazi bekuthiweni the younger wife unkosikazi wokugugela. You know, she thought she was that wife umselekazi wokuguga naye, you know. Like a man will take all of these wives and then take a younger wife. Actually, the younger wife, Umakumal, because Umakumal is younger than all of them, she's just not the last wife, you know. So yes, ulona umangwabe thought ukuthi uzoba unkosikazi wokugugela, but ke umseleki want to guga with someone else, you know. And don't you think Mangwabe was number 5 and therefore the last wife? Then Masaul died and she became number 4. But today, ile nto kodwa sisho ukuthi ama-timeline, I think uMasawula, okay, no, ngiyakuzwa lento eshona late because uMasawula must have passed just before they took uMakhumalo, because uMakhumalo was the girlfriend when Masawula was around. So maybe I don't know if there was ever a time when Mangwabe and Masawula was in a relationship with Mselegu at the same time. But I guess what you're saying. If we count Ulona Umasawul, then Mangwabe is number 5. If we count Ulona Umasawul, then Mangwabe is number 5. Okay. So if the purpose Mselegu was to take 5 wives, because he still refers to Masaul as his wife. By the way, it's the only wife that he would refer to. Hey, that's another thing. But anyway, yes, I guess Mangwabe is number 5. If Uti purpose Gamsele was to take 5 wives, then he's done. But then again, his reasons for taking all of these wives change all the time. So we don't know. Hey. But guys, like, but the boys thing sometimes can be so stupid because uzogana abantu abangaki to give you boys when actually as a man you are the one that is walking around with boys, because men are the ones that are walking around with boys. So even if you get 15 wives, you might not have boys from those 15 wives. Can we blame those wives? But yeah, I guess the thinking of men really is that and they will say ngiyamthanda uma wengane yami ubani because she gave me a boy, as if it's your decision as a woman to say, oh, I'm gonna have a baby and I will give him a boy. No, but yeah, the thinking sometimes is like that. Maybe had she had boy children, she would have been the last. Maybe if those girls maybe were boys, maybe Umselek would have been like, you know what, I'm done. It's a possibility, we don't know. But it might be because it might have nothing to do with nothing, you guys. Even if all of them had boys only, even Makumaro had boys only, if Umselek, he would have said he wanted girls, because the whole goal is, at the end of the day, he wants another wife. Okay. And then cook some more with V. Hi, Musa has a wandering eye straight. Yes, I don't know who wrote in my comment section to say she knows somebody that worked with them at their business, and apparently they say that you really like it will show ukuthi umuntu wabantu besifazane. And yeah, and I think Mangwabe did say that Sunday Sexy Love, it's one thing that she does not like about Umseleko is that uthanda abantu besifazane. He didn't say ukuthi uthanda abantu besifazane abahle, uthanda abantu besifazane abafishane, uthanda abantu besifazane, uthanda abantu besifazane nje, So that's the issue that they're having. And Sibo says, hi everyone, a child is a gift and gender doesn't matter because everyone has a purpose in life. Yes, obviously, like, you're speaking sense, but but just saying sometimes kumadoda sometimes sense doesn't, I sebenzi, because honestly, umntwana, ingane yakhe ingane yakho. but-ke kunalento yokuthi to carry your legacy you need a boy child. I don't know, but even if you look at the La family leyana, it does seem like umseleku feels like or treats ingane zakhe zabafana as more precious than ezamantombazane, which is really is an old way of thinking, it is. But again, and in black families, guys, that is something that uh, we still need to learn ukuthi umuntu intombazane or a person is a person, a human being, human life is worth just as much. And you would be surprised, like they would say things like umfana uyena ozovusa umuzi, they will build a home, a boy will build a home. Do you know how many of us take care of our mothers back at home as girls? you know if it was like that, Bella, we would be let go and be like, no, you are released, you are a girl, don't take care of your home, don't fix things at home, don't do this at home because you are a girl. No, so many of the girls have vusat imizi yakubo, bakhe emakhaya, build their parents' homes, take care of their homes and all of that. So I really think it's a very outdated way yokucabanga to say ukuthi for umuzi ukuthi uvuke fanele kube nengane yomfana. Kodwa-ke, it looks like that's what he believes, umseleku. And then Nala says, when he talks about Masaul, hey, I would be jealous, shame, and he expects all his wives to have love. Yes, I really feel like out of all of the wives, he would sound like he lost the love of his life in Masaul. But here's the thing also. Uh, I think because Umar Saul was letting him get away with a lot, it might also be that the fact that she was allowing him to have girlfriends and bring the girlfriends around and all of that. So Umar Saul was the vibe. Was unkosikazi we-vibe. Was okay. My girlfriend is coming. I don't know Sithanda Sam. I'm here. What should I cook today? So it might also be that she misses that. He's missing that, or it might be that that was the wife that he really loved. We don't know, you guys. Esithenjini kuqhudelwana ngabafana. Yes, kuqhudelwana ngabafana. Nangey'ngane-ke nje, nangey'ngane. But also, I think also it depends on how you handle Isthembu. I don't know if any of you know a story that I've told. My grandfather had two wives too. So my mother's mother was the second wife to my grandfather. So we grew up having two grandmothers. There was two grandmothers and one grandfather. As a child, you don't question that. You just think that's the way that life is. I just thought we had two grandmothers and one grandfather. I never knew until very late in my life that they were both his wives. And the way that the whole thing was handled by a family, it was not even easy for us as kids to pick up that my mother and her siblings, none of them were my other grandmother's kids. Like basically, the first wife did not have children, so the second wife was taken for that reason, which is my mother's mother was taken for that reason. But as very young kids, we did not know that the other grandmother didn't have children, that my mother's other siblings all belonged to one mother, because she also, the other grandmother, treated everybody the same. She was everybody's grandmother, everybody's mother. So that's how the family treated hers, when it wasn't like, oh, akuyona ingane zakhe and whatever. So I think as well, into yengane nazi ingane zabo. So my other grandmother, the one who is my mother's mother, had three girls and one boy. That boy was loved by everybody. So now it depends now as a man, how do you treat your wives? Are you treating the one that has the boys as if they are more important than the one that have the girls? I think it depends how you treat isithembu sakho. Like honestly, you guys, we did not, I'm one of the younger grandchildren when it came to my grandmother and grandmothers and grandfather. So and they passed when I was still young. So only after they had passed, after a while, now you're asking questions. So my grandmother, who was this? How was this grandmother related to this? Then they're saying no, they were both wives, and you're like, oh, so it depends now as a man how you treat isithembu. And even the kids, how they are around isithembu, it depends on you. I think it's all on how a man treats everybody. And yeah, so if you're going to act like this wife is important because she has boys, then nah, she's gonna act like she's more important because she has boys. And then Top said, I feel like uMasawulo wa shelela uMakhumalo. I don't know. It sounded to me like when they tell their story, like Umselegu would come maybe God Dagasazi would come azoshela kuMakhumalo. And remember Makhumalo was wayesasesikoleni at that time. And asithanda ukukhuluma ngaleso story ngoba manje sivele siveze izinto that are inappropriate. Yeah. But yeah, it's possible. Anyway, I think that it was something that was done, if I'm not mistaken, before that the wife would actually be the one to find another wife, potential wife for the husband, if they had agreed on it. I don't know. And a lady and in-laws, especially sisters and mothers as well, contribute to that narrative. Ufike umakoti ethuka ngokuthi uzala amantombazane yet ngunyana wabo that's supposed to give the wife. Yes, Naledi. And I think they do. The in-laws do contribute. And also nje xabaniseni, because even the in-laws would probably have a favorite wife between all of the wives. They would have a wife that they prefer. I do, to be honest with you guys, with my mother's family, I don't know how that was like earlier on when the in-laws were still there. Remember, now we are kids. The older people have passed. I only knew my grandfather and his wives, and then my mother and her siblings. So even we don't know if when we came, it seemed to just be working all smooth, because they were older now. So it might have been that earlier on she really had those struggles where she ubethukwa but not having it. And sometimes we are too as unkosikazi ukuthi awuzali nokuzala wena in. So yeah, it's possible, you guys. Anyway, you guys, I think we're gonna have to wrap up today before load shedding is shy. Before it goes, jump, you guys, but I really appreciate everybody that joins. Naledi says, my stepmom's mother was the sixth wife. Can we give her an award for surviving that? She's from KZN, a sister to one of the wives who did not have children. She was taken. Hey, that was done as well. Yes, that was done as well. I know a family where sisters were married to the same man because the other sister couldn't have children. And then the other one came and had children, and then they didn't get along after that. You see now, it's like they don't get along now. You even would think that they're just enemies, they're not sisters. People will say these are actually sisters. So sometimes it doesn't work. And Asia, I wish there was a way where you could just, if that sister is having children, they could have children and give them to her without marrying to the marrying the husband. But anyway, you guys, there is now we do have so many other options in terms of like when people cannot have children that people could use in terms of like um if you can't have children as a couple, you do have other options. Ukuthi nje culturally asikayi integrate that part, those options asikawa integrate ukuthi okay, now I've gone and used a surrogate, to have a child for me. Does that child really belong to this family? Because we actually don't know how amadlozi ethu and all of that feel about the child. Do they accept lo mntwana or not? And I think that is part of the challenge right now. Even though my options are there, people are reluctant to use those options that are available for them when they can't have children because they don't know if the child will really be accepted into the family. But honestly, I would rather that than my sister come in my marriage and have a child and then end up taking my man. Now I'm sitting there without a child, without a man now, because that's what happened. But there was also always another option, you guys, because, okay, let's say that you have two wives and then one wife doesn't have children and then the other one doesn't. there will be a child or two children that will be given to the other wives. There was also that always that option as well. They will be given to the other wife, and then everything will be that will be done for that child will be done by that wife because phela vele isithembu, you know, now they will say ukuthi they do isithembu ukwakha because vele kuqala I think isithembu vele kwakwesokwakha, like for real kwakwesokwakha, you know. So you don't have a child but this one will have children and give you maybe two of her or one of her children akusize kwakho and all of that. And noma eseshada lowo mntwana lo, if intombazane vele mengabe kumbathiswa umama kuzombathiswa wena for real, like for real you have been given that child, even amadlozi azi ukuthi leyo ngane, you know, ngokomthetho eyakho because kuqala bekwakhiwa for real, you know. It's not like now they use that as an excuse, no ngakha nyakha, that's why ngandisa umuzi, that's why. But for real it doesn't, because amukho unkosikazi manje ufuna ukuthi anike omunye unkosikazi ingane. So there were options that they could use even with umacele, but I guess ukuthi kaMseleku nobody has lots of children like that, like everybody bana two, bana three, bana two, bana three. So it's like ha enganeni zami ezo-3 na ngizonika oyedwa to the other wife. I know I don't want to do that. I don't think that they would want to do that. It says that kodwa is surrogate not the same as getting girlfriend pregnant and giving the child. But the difference knowledge is that they don't have sex, you know, they don't get intimate, you know. The surrogate is you go to the doctor and get they they take they put